Good morning, everyone. My name is Colleen Lemma, and this event is called Cards and Coffee with Colleen and Kathi. It's a mini reading event where Kathi and I get together once a month to talk briefly about the collective energies, kind of give messages on that collective level as quickly as we can, because then we want to get to the mini readings and choosing people from the Zoom audience to do mini readings for. Again, we only have an hour, so not everybody will get a reading. But again, as I said earlier, excuse me, even if you don't get chosen, there's still nuggets of wisdom for the readings we do for people, or even beforehand when Kathi and I are talking. Also realize that Kathi and I do readings. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a minute, but I will very quickly let these people in and then I will introduce myself. Um, so I am an intuitive reader and I utilize the Akashic records, the astrological blueprint, name vibration, the clairs, connecting with your angels and guides, bringing forth whatever information, according to your questions that you have or whatever your angels and guides want to share. I'm also a healer. I'm a Reiki Master, certified hypnotherapist. I do past life regression, Ho'oponopono, crystal healing, among other things, and a teacher of a lot of different metaphysical subject matter. A lot of my courses and classes will be starting up gung-ho, starting in late August, early September. So really excited to get back in the saddle after kind of a more low-key kind of summertime here. My website is new. I mean, it's new and old, but it's now ColleenLemma.com. So you can find me under ColleenLemma.com and my new website. Also, my YouTube channel where there's free weekly and monthly readings is under Colleen Lemma, my name, and my meetup group here. If you come in other than the meetup group is under Sacred Soul Empowerment. So I think that's might be everything. Kathi, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kathi Munson. I am a psychic medium, Reiki Master teacher, multidimensional healer, and past life regressionist. I do a lot of things and connect. I'm mentoring with students. I do a lot of workshops and classes, mostly like in person. If you ever see anything, you can go to the website. It's intuitivecat.com, cat spelled with a K, like me. Soon to hopefully trying to get that Voices of Enlightenment website out there. Running into a little snafu, but that's okay. We will forge forward. Um, yeah, do lots of readings, lots of classes, lots of workshops. I work on people also energetically, long distance, and also in person. So you can connect with me through intuitivecat.com. On Facebook, it's Voices of Enlightenment. On Meetup, it's Voices of Enlightenment, because my business name is Voices of Enlightenment Now. Intuitive Cat is an old name, but a good one, all the same. So yeah. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, let's kind of talk just very briefly about the collective energies. Try not to spend too much time on that because we know that you're anxious for to see if you can get a mini reading today. But we did just have a full moon in Capricorn. I think it was this past Wednesday, Thursday. But we're still kind of in that releasing, healing, letting go phase of that particular full moon in Capricorn, because the ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn, and Saturn is the great teacher of karmic lessons, and he's kind of the wise sage that wants us to take responsibility for things that are going on in our lives. And he just very early this morning turned to retrograde motion, and that's why that Capricorn full moon energy is still pretty strong with us right now. So again, this idea of really kind of going within, because when a planet turns retrograde, it internalizes the energy. So we want to go within and do some soul searching, kind of take an inventory of our life in the years past and the decisions and the choices that we made. Again, because Saturn is pretty serious. And again, Saturn rules responsibility and learning certain soul lessons that your soul chose in this lifetime. So what soul lessons, what repeating themes are there in your life? And just really kind of, again, doing a little bit of a review on that, and where can you make a shift? Maybe you need to shift your mindset or your belief systems. Maybe you need to shift patterns through different actions. Maybe you need to shift the stories that are kind of what do I want to say, embedded in your subconscious mind, and shift those stories so that there's like a new way to make choices and decisions, to take a new path and move down a new road. The other thing with Saturn being retrograde is that also on July 4th, which wasn't too many days ago, Neptune also turned retrograde. And the thing that's important about this is that they're both around the same degree of Aries. So Neptune turned retrograde at 2 degrees of Aries. Saturn this morning turned retrograde almost at 2 degrees. It was only a couple minutes away from that 2 degree point. So they're traveling together, and Neptune on his shadow side, because every planet and energy has a shadow side to it, as well as that light and bright side. But Neptune rules illusion and confusion, wearing rose-colored glasses, where we're not seeing things clearly or understanding things clearly. But the positive side of Neptune is that it's about the spiritual realm and miracles, and what I like to say is magic. And it is about the dream, the vision. So this is important because with Saturn and Neptune traveling together, and Saturn is this planet that rules the third dimension and form and materialism and manifestation, we can actually, if we turn that energy inward and do some self-reflective work, meditation work, healing work on ourselves, we can manifest the dream, manifest the vision, bring it into form. Now, it might take a little bit of time because Saturn is a long-term goal kind of planet, but it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as we are taking the next, steps carefully, slowly, thoughtfully towards that goal, towards that vision, towards that dream that we have that's represented by Neptune. And then again, we can bring things into manifestation. So really quickly, some of the cards that I pulled in my meditation right before hopping on here, they said a couple of things. One was a repeated theme of getting extra rest and relaxation during this particular month of July. There's a lot of internalization of the planetary energies this month, a lot of planets turning retrograde. Actually, next week, Mercury's turning retrograde, joining Neptune, joining Saturn. At the end of the month, Chiron is turning retrograde. And again, that internalizes the energy to where we're kind of on this inner soul journey. So again, getting more sleep if need be, some downtime if you can, because Saturn's energy can be a little heavy. So you might have found since the Capricorn full moon or just before, you might have felt more fatigued, for instance. Maybe there's been some trouble sleeping or staying asleep because of some other astrological energy that's also happening, or maybe you've been sleeping more or wanting to sleep more. So, they said definitely it's a time to kind of take care, do some self-care. The other thing they kept showing me was they kept showing me this image of a star. And, that can have a couple of meanings. Like maybe we're supposed to reach for the star, right? Reach for the moon, reach for the stars, don't play small, but really have that, again, expanded vision of what it is that you want to move into, expand into. I also feel like stars are about like the magic of the universe, right? And it's kind of lighting our way. And that kind of goes with one of the other cards that I drew because not what the words are, but it's Archangel Jeremiel, and not even what it says about being the angel of forgiveness, although that might hit some of you as well, is about forgiveness this month, forgiveness towards yourself and others. But look at the light. It's like this candle slash lantern that he's holding. And that again is like the star, where it's this illumination, this inner illumination of the next steps for you forward, taking responsibility to find your own inner light, follow your own inner truth, move towards um, that authentic truth within you, basically. Oh, beautiful. There's another light there as well. So, again, this is a message for us all. They definitely kept on showing like the cosmos, the universe, the astrology of what's happening. So that seems to be very important at this time. And the last thing I'll say before passing it over to Kathi is there was a lot of divine feminine energy also that came in, which again can be like the self-nurturing, self-compassion, this unconditional love and self-forgiveness or forgiveness towards others, that just soft, receptive, in drawing sort of energy. And that goes well with the internalization of these planetary energies right now. It's not a time for action. I mean, I'm not saying not to take an action if you've got something in line, like I got to do this, or I scheduled this month to initiate that. Go ahead, but Mercury is retrograde, so you might have to redo something or go over something. But it's more of a time of just allowing and being and going with the flow and just being receptive to the energies with all this kind of divine feminine energy. They talked about love, peace, blessings, devotion. So those are all, the energies of divine feminine that we're needing to focus on or being guided to focus on right now. They said something about writing out, like it might be difficult in this month to stay in a positive headspace all the time. So they said, make sure you're journaling or writing out regularly, whether it's once a week or once a day, taking 5 minutes or more than that, to write out what you're grateful and thankful for, what you appreciate in your life, what you appreciate about yourself, and just, writing out what you feel are the blessings in your life currently so that you keep in that mindset of attracting kind of more blessings of abundance and prosperity of different kinds to you. All right, Kathy, I'm going to hand it to you.
Yeah, definitely in alignment. As you saw me holding up cards when Colleen was talking, we definitely are getting very similar messages because the very first card that came out was the power of silence. And I thought that was a very interesting way to start. I'll just show you the card because the card is actually visually beautiful. If you can see that
Beautiful.
well, I'm hoping you can. Literally, and I love the fact that this woman is walking on that bridge because it is a journey that we're on, and it's a journey of self-reflection and self-connectedness. And so the other one that I held up with the light is the wisdom of the solar plexus, which is about your own personal power going into that phase. And I kept being told not to be distracted by smoke screens, which I've been saying for a while, so I will just say that, as in that's usually all the things that are out here. Like it's a definite time to go within and say, what do I believe in? What do I feel? What do I want to do? It's definitely a me time. So I'll just say that. And a lot of us don't do well with me time. We feel very guilty if we have to do me time. So I will say this is a time to just push that aside and just try to embrace you and decide, where do I want to go? It doesn't mean we have to have major epiphanies. If you do, yay for you. But it is definitely a time, and it's a time to trust yourself. Trust yourself that you will get through this. Trust yourself that you can release karma. Trust yourself that you can make a change within your own life. And do we only know that? We only know that when we change our life, it tends to change around us. You are the pebble in the pond. So when that pebble drops into that water, how those reflections embrace out and kind of expand into those that are around you, those that you're teaching, those that you're connecting with, those that you're friends with, family with. And it's a time to decide, who is my tribe and who do I want to be with me, around me, uplifting me. I'm uplifting you, you're uplifting me. It's that time to find your tribe, to find your soul tribe, and just really be able to be with them. Everything that's happening in the universe is going to happen. We will know when we are called to duty, when, because that's just the way that it's coming to me. We will know when it's our time to help in some way. In this way, with you starting to embrace yourself, you're going to know yourself better when it gets to that time. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be part of a war. That doesn't mean that, like, I'm not trying to be expansive like that. What it means is that you will be able to know where you fit and what your call is, what you are here on this earth to do, what your contract was when you came into. Because a lot of us are truly finding that now, because that's the way that we are going to go. We are expanding quickly. Also, ascension symbols were a big thing that came through. The feeling of like, okay, my stomach's really upset. I can't sleep. Like Colleen said, the sleeping, the not sleeping. I have a lot of my students that are not sleeping. I personally can't get enough. Like I just joked with them one day and said, well, apparently I'm taking all your sleep. So that's why you can't sleep because I just feel like I can't get enough. So it's just kind of funny how it's just this whole enlightenment as to where you are meant to be, and trusting and believing that whatever you want to create, it's about continuing to have faith. It's continuing to have belief. It's continuing to trust yourself. A lot of people are like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I want to be. And that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. And I love the journaling because that came for me also as writing it out. If you can't make sense of the feelings, write it out because sometimes seeing it visually helps you to kind of weed your way through it and kind of start to understand, oh, I'm starting to see a pattern with me now. Oh, I'm starting to see, and the light is starting to show. And just embracing that, it's not a game of perfection. We know there is no such thing as perfection. What we want to do is we want to be consistent and we want to be happy, joyous and free. That's a lot of where we're going. We're going to get there. You will get there. You just have to believe and have faith. And with that, and keep it simple. That was the other thing that came too, was keeping it simple. Everybody has these illusions of grandeur. Like I'm supposed to be having a big epiphany. Like I'm literally going to change. Like I'm going to go for 500 pounds down to 100. Like it's going to happen overnight. Yeah, we already know. I can already tell you that's not going to happen overnight. But again, I'm being silly. But yeah, so it's all in just the trust and the faith. And we are in a bit of a patience time, which I know patience is not our favorite word because we can feel it coming and we want it now. Like I can feel there's change coming. I want it now. I want to get on my path now. So just kind of hang in there because it's coming. It's gonna happen. We all are gonna shift and change. So the best thing you can do is prepare yourself for it. With that, I'm gonna let it go to Colleen.
Okay. So we are going to choose randomly as Kathy and I are guided from the studio audience. You can either raise your hand if you're on camera or raise your other hand if you're not on camera, that little icon thing. If we choose you, I'm going to be asking for your date of birth because I like to look at that kind of vibration that you're in. So just know that I'll be asking that. And then we'll also ask you if you have a specific question or concern, or if you just want to see what your angels and guides have to say for you. So let us know with the raise of your hand if you want a reading. Okay, and I'm going to let Kathy choose first.
Let's see. This is so funny. I can't help myself. I have to pick Elizabeth because she's just going so well with the time because I kind of want to do like this because you're coming through sideways. I can't help myself. I just keep being drawn to you, and not mostly because of that. It's your energy clearly that's drawing me to you.
All
So
right.
Elizabeth, if you could just unmute yourself and let us know your date of birth for Colleen, please.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I tried sideways, but I didn't want to give you guys motion sickness to try and fix it.
No, it kind of
I
fits with the energy we're in.
That's okay, Elizabeth.
All right. Well, sit. My birthday is 6/17/1967.
1967. Do you have a specific question or concern, or do you just want to see what your angels and guides have to say?
Hmm. Let's just see what they have to say. I'm not forcing anything.
You're not forcing anything. Okay, that's the best way to be. That's good. All right, Kathy, I'll let you go first.
So it's interesting because the very first thing I got for you is to slow down, take a breath. So I don't know if you're keeping yourself very busy, 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 busy,
Yes.
but that's a lot of what I get. I keep getting like this sort of almost like a tornado around you, but I feel like it's your
Yes.
energy, not in a bad way. I just feel like it's your energy, like going, going, going. And I feel like you're sort of in that place of like, I want this, and I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Like you're attracted to
Yes.
every shiny object in the universe. Is what it feels like, which is not a bad thing. So I'll just say that. But it's time to sort of like step, like they're telling me to tell you to step back for a minute and just take a breath. It's so funny. My guides say this to me when I get so hyper focused. They always say to me, sit, be still, be quiet, which
Okay.
means sit down, take a breath, let your mind sort of contemplate, what do I want to create? Where do I really want to go? The interesting thing also that's coming for you is to write down like the things that you want to do, because I feel like you're on your journey. It makes me feel like when I just started on the path and I
Yeah.
wanted to learn everything, do everything, see everything. And then I get to a point where like, okay, we need to really like wait until I find out what I resonate with instead of just willy-nilly taking all these classes and workshops. Um, but they're saying like if you sit down and focus, you have a pattern. They keep showing me like there's a pattern to where, like if I want to learn this, I want to learn this, I want to do this. If you start writing it down and then kind of walk away for a minute and then come back, it's almost like they're talking about you'll have clearer vision
Okay.
as to where, well, this can wait. Like, yeah, that I'm interested, but I'd like to do this more. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. You're a healer. I feel like you already know that.
Yes.
You know that you have amazing journeys that are coming to you. definitely coming to you. I do also feel like you're not at the beginning of your path. I feel like they keep making me feel like you put yourself out there at one point and then somehow pulled yourself back. It's almost like you were seen too much and it kind of scared you,
Uh,
if that makes sense at all. But that's what they keep showing me is sort of this like, two steps forward, three steps back feeling with
oh,
you.
it's my
But
life.
you're in that moment to where it's all going to make sense. There's also something that you keep trying to push, push, push to make happen. And they're like, take a minute, take a breath, sit down and write it out. Like, what is your visual vision of what you see this becoming? Almost like, so I'm just going to use this as an analogy because they keep showing it to me. They always show me things that I understand in my own life. So if I was going to go gung ho with like energy work right now and I was going to put it out there, because I really want to get more people to come in and help themselves and be able to have some energy work. So I'm a firm believer they'll come if they're meant to come, but I'm just using this as an analogy. So you're going to put out like, okay, I'm going to put this workshop out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a day out there, like a spa day out there. I'm going to do, like you kind of go gung ho with stuff. And then they're saying like, take down, like visualize where you want to go. Visualize seeing yourself walking through it, seeing yourself being part of it, like put you in that visualization. And then they're saying it's going to become so much clearer because I feel like they make me feel like you keep shifting and changing it, like tweaking it. And now it's kind of getting to the point to where it's getting off the mark or it's kind of, going sideways is what, which is funny that you're sideways. But that's what they're making me feel like, you need to kind of step back for a minute and almost, they also show me that they've been trying to tell you, like guide you to some things that you could do, some alignment that you could do in what you're trying to create. And you're like so hyper focused thinking that you're not hearing them.
Okay.
So they're talking about we need you to kind of like we need to get in there because we can help you with this. We're going to channel through you with this. So yeah, your voice is part of what you're here for too, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they
Because
do.
you're aligning that right now. I can feel myself working on you, which is kind of funny. I can feel us, I shouldn't say myself. I feel us working on you. Like
I
kind of working right here. So yeah, I find that interesting.
I appreciate that so much. You're very
But yeah,
alive.
you've got some great channeling that you're going to be doing.
I
Like
can.
really profound channeling.
I'm
And that's why they need you to kind of sit, be still, be quiet.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, I know it's not the easiest thing. I agree with that. I truly do. But it's also going to be they're talking about like there's a place that they're going to be taking you because that's how they're putting it. They're going to be guiding you, taking you. They're going to be guiding you to a place that you've never been before. Like when you channel and voices start to come through you, there's a place that you're going to go that they're going to teach you how to do that. They know that that's not easy for you in this moment right now, but if you allow them, they want to teach you so that you can align and be quiet and still and focused.
Great.
So, ooh, you got some great things coming. I'm kind of excited for you.
I appreciate that. And I won't get into everything why
No, you're
everything
fine.
you say is in alignment, but just quick synopsis so we can move on is that, I've been laid off for 18 months and Colleen's familiar with my story. She's been there as I've gone through job possibilities and then see it go to the wayside, things go to the wayside. And I'm growing my entrepreneurial business and helping people with their thought habits while still trying to find sensory science work. So it's just navigating that whole thing is crazy. And so you just validated a lot of that space that I'm in right now. So I appreciate that. Maybe you and I can touch base offline.
Oh, sure. I'm going to pass it to Colleen though and be quiet.
Thank you.
All right, Elizabeth. Well, we know that you, as far as like gifts, psychic gifts, basically, your mind is very active, right? You're very mind active kind of Gemini energy here. And just recently you had a birthday, right, in June 17th. So you've gone into this new cycle where it's like being in a salt or pepper shaker, it's like the universe is shaking things up for you right now. And so it does feel a little confusing, unbalancing, not knowing which way is up. Basically, just like you're being sideways there. It's like, you're really being called to change and redirect different aspects of your life, different aspects of your inner being, your mindset, your belief systems, situations, the whole shebang. So I feel like, this particular month of July, it's more about shifting perspectives and shifting kind of belief systems and moving into a new creative expression. You talked about, creative business. This is a really good time, even though Mercury is going to be retrograde, to kind of redo or reorganize or reevaluate some of these like new creations that you are doing. They're talking about being flexible and adaptable, like a Gemini, basically, allowing yourself to kind of be pulled here and there and to kind of go with the flow of things. I feel like a lot of change and redirection is coming in September for you. Um, they said that this time period, not necessarily just this month, but during the next few weeks, a few months here, the rest of the year perhaps, to kind of focus on taking inspired action, like allowing, as far as the psychic gifts are concerned, I feel like you're going to get little flashes, quick flashes of like insight, downloads. Maybe even your clairaudience is going to be on the rise and magnified. So when you get this kind of aha moment, this inspired action, they want you to move on it. They want you to go forward with it. I don't know what this means, so I'll just kind of say it and just leave it for you to contemplate, but something about your family tree, something about your ancestry. Where did you go? There you are. So something about tuning in. I don't know if this is tuning in with your ancestors because they want to assist you with certain gifts and talents that are needing to be brought forth. But there was something about paying attention to that ancestry as far as like how you're moving forward with your spiritual truth and what you're here to do in the world, like aligning with some of that energy, almost like it's a legacy or something. So I don't know if there's something from your ancestry. It's like, and it felt like it was divine feminine energy. So like mother or mother's side or grandmother or great grandmother energy, where it's like bringing forth some sort of strengths, gifts, or talents. They also talked about some sort of a contract. And I asked them, is this like an actual material contract, something where she's got to sign, or is it a spiritual contract? And they said it was some sort of spiritual contract, an old spiritual contract, spiritual lesson that it's time to remove yourself from. It's time to leave behind. It's time to walk away from. And they kind of gave him the phrase of clear, cancel, delete. It's like clear, cancel, delete. We don't need to like be in this soul contract anymore. And I don't know if that's with a person or if that's just, about like career or, something else. But whatever it is, they said it's time to kind of leave that behind, move forward. And what's attached to it is something about loving, respecting, and honoring yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Um, they said there was going to be a lot of like psychic expansion in this birthday year for you, a lot of healing in this birthday year for you, again, like being in that salt shaker. So it's going to come in waves. It's going to come like unexpectedly. There's going to be little spurts of it, like Gemini is used to, as these little spurts of energies. Um, Something also about being in this vortex of manifestation. It's a high time for you to manifest. However, because you're a Gemini and Gemini is mutable, changeable, and the birthday year energy that you're in is kind of a little chaotic and ungrounding sometimes, the manifestation piece needs a little bit of focus and grounding. So once you get clear on what do I want to create or bring into form, or what do I want to manifest, then we need to really kind of focus that energy in meditation or through journaling or writing or whatever is going to help you to kind of ground and focus it, because this vortex of manifestation is strong for you right now. It just needs to be channeled in a grounded way. Um, and I think that's probably about it. Just a lot of light energy around you, transcending old things, coming into like deeper wisdom and knowledge. All of that kind of comes up. Again, I feel like it just comes in waves or comes in spurts for you. So I hope that was helpful.
It was very helpful. I appreciate you so much, both
Ah,
of you. Thank you.
thank you, Elizabeth. We appreciate you too.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm gonna choose next. Let's see, where am I going? Where are my eyes being directed? Um, I keep getting drawn to Mackenzie. Mackenzie, if you want to unmute yourself and give us your date of birth.
Yeah, my birthday is August 27th, 1996.
August 27, 1996. Is that your first name or your last?
My first.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, so do you have a specific focus or question, Mackenzie, or just do you want to see what your angels and guides have to say?
Just want to see what they have to say.
All right, and I'm going to let Kathi go first.
So the first thing I can tell you, Mackenzie, is you are a powerhouse. You're a rock star. So I'm just going to say that because I keep getting like this big, huge energy from you. And just very, it's so funny. I'm going to show you the picture because my eyes were just drawn to this card for you. Oh, I'm like they just shifted me, so I didn't know where I was. Look at this. Look at this vision. Like this is so you. Like so you. And I know that you're in that time of sort of I understand part of who I am, but I don't understand all of who I am, if that makes sense. And I feel it's a little bit different than what we told Elizabeth because I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. It's almost like you have the direction that you know you want to go, but you doubt it or you second guess it, or there's something about you not fully believing, like I'm not really all in yet. That kind of feeling. I don't know if you connect with shamanic, but I keep getting like a lot of shamanic work for you, like connecting with the earth and working through the earth and working like allowing the earth to work through you. And not just in animals, because I keep getting like you drawn to animals or you connected with animals, which because the wolf is very, very clear in that card, very, very clear. But I also feel like this is a path that you've walked in many lifetimes. And it's kind of funny because my joy guide is with me, so I will forewarn you all. He's always like persnickety and snarky, so I'll just say that. But he makes me giggle, so which is why he's with me. He's talking about, he goes, this should be easy for her. Like this kind of should be easy for her because she's done it in so many lifetimes. But I get it. We know what we're going to do before we get into this lifetime, and then all of a sudden we're born and it's like we forget everything. Like now we've got amnesia and have no clue what we're here for. And so I mean I totally get it. But it's sort of, and there's also something about, it's funny that Colleen talked about ancestors because I was getting a connection of ancestors with you also, like almost like a few versions, a few recent centuries of ancestors. It's almost like I feel doubt around you through your ancestors. I mean, I know you have ancestors like back the lineage part is like, yes, come on, you can do this. We're with you. We're going to help you, that kind of guidance. But I feel like whoever you were born into this lifetime with and maybe one generation out, you're getting like a lot of disbelief in what you're doing and not understanding. And what I can tell you, Mackenzie, is just you got to be you. Like it's so funny. I love this card. I absolutely love this card. Every time it comes up, it makes me chuckle because look at this one with the octopus on her head. Like I kind of want to say you're allowing the octopus to stay on your head instead of being like, come over here, we can be friends. Like, come over here. And I kind of want to tell you, like, take the octopus off your head and be friends with the octopus. Like that's almost what I want to tell you. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but it's like I think you are so powerful. Like I just want to like grab you and teach you. Like I'm just so excited for you. And I know that's like really a scary vision for a lot of you, but like I don't mean I'm going to grab you and teach you, but you just are such a powerful little master that I just want you to get going. Like just go. Do you make things also? Because I keep feeling like you ought to like connect with herbs and start making some things. Like
I
lotions,
definitely am.
potions,
Yeah, I
tinctures.
definitely have. Yeah, I like to make things.
Yeah, I highly, and it's interesting because I almost want to tell you if you can't believe fully who you are, start with that. Because almost like you getting through that, like I feel like it's going to expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And trust me, when you make your stuff and you get to that point, you just reach out to me because I'm literally sitting in my space, which is a shop. So I would be so interested to like help you sell some stuff here. Just saying. So yeah, I don't know where you're located. I'm in Connecticut, just so you know. But yeah, because I just think you're going to be amazing. I just think you're going to be amazing. The other thing too that I kind of want to tell you to also connect. Like I know that you're very earth connected and animal connected, but I also want to tell you to learn about the fairy realm. Like I feel like the fairy realm is going to become very important for you, and
That has
and
always been
kind
a
of will.
thing as a kid.
Okay, Then that makes sense. I almost feel like you're dishing them right now, though. It's almost like, yeah, you need to like just be over here for right now. Like I can't handle you right now. You know, that kind of feeling. But it's okay because we always
Yeah.
go through that. We always go through that second guessing. Am I doing the right thing? Is this where I'm meant to be? You know, but you have it. You have it. If you can just say, you know what? I always tell my students, act as if. Like, I love to do this. And I'm like, well, if you love to do it, then just do it. Like, if it's singing, making your heart sing, then just do it. You know, and it's gonna guide you deeper into where you're meant to be. It's gonna guide you further on that path. If there's any shamanic, you know, connections that you have or can learn, I don't know where again where you are, you know, I would highly recommend that you connect with that because it's so, and I won't say that you would become a shaman. You may, depending, you may. Um, but it's almost like it's going to align you to where you're meant to be because I almost feel like you're the Wiccan, you're the shaman, you're the fairy connector, and you're just going to blend them all together to be you. You know, it's a lot like me. I know a lot of dynamics of everything. I'm very blessed and honored in this lifetime to do a lot of things because I love it. I love it all. You know, so and I'm blessed and honored that I can do a lot of what I offer to do, obviously. But it's a lot of you have a lot. That's why you tend to second guess because you can feel like you're called to something else because you're not the type of girl who's just going to do one thing and that's all I'm ever going to do. You know, and what I do feel is that what they're telling it's not me. I always say it's not me. I hope you all realize it's not me, even though I say what I feel like and it's they're making me feel like. Um, is that whatever chaos is going on around you, family wise, I almost feel like this is your time to focus on you. You know, this is your time to decide I'm not part of that. Like I'm going to end that. I'm going to let that go because that's not who I am. And that's not where I want to be. So I'm kind of like, I feel like we need to build you up a little bit, give you a little power, you know, because you got it. It's there. I don't think I have to do much, to be honest. It's just there. You just need a little cheerleader. Trust me, I will be your cheerleader. I got the pom poms right here in the back of the room. Just I'll happily give them out, get them out and cheer for you if that's what you need. If that's what you need, because you've got friends here. So funny, I'm hearing like a song in my head now. But yeah, it's just everything is just so great. It's like sort of not believing in what you've been taught up until now, right? And family wise, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
find your family, find your soul tribe. I found mine. It's kind of funny because my soul sister's on here somewhere. She's on here. So she knows me better than my sisters will ever know me. So they're there. They're waiting for you. You're a rock star. I'm not kidding when I said it. You're a rock star. Like I'm excited to see where you're going to go if you allow us to be part of it. All I want to know is just, yeah, just allow us to be part of it because I'll be excited for you. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Colleen.
Okay. Hi, Mackenzie.
Hi.
All right. So you come in with this energy, and I agree with Kathi, everything she was saying. You are a healer. You are very intuitive, very empathic, a very kind of nurturing, mothering sort of energy. You also have a great intellect and a great ability to kind of pay attention to like details because you're a Virgo, right? So paying attention to the details and kind of going within and being logical. So you have this kind of merging of the mental body and emotional body kind of combined, which gives you some very deep, special gifts. And you're getting ready to have a birthday the end of August. So you're transitioning from one kind of cycle or focus of energy to a new one. This particular one that you're ending right now, it's been some months and a couple more months yet to go, or actually about a month or so, right? A month and a half. And it's more about this kind of deep soul searching. This particular energy sometimes can feel a little confusing. It can feel like it's like putting together a puzzle and not having all the pieces to the puzzle. It's like you get so far and you're like, well, it looks like this might be what it is, but I got missing pieces and I don't know what the rest of it is supposed to be. And so it can kind of feel like that, where there's missing information and you've got to do this kind of a deep dive and soul searching and going within and trying to make sense out of things. It can cause a little bit of anxiety and confusion, which, Virgos are prone to kind of this anxiety, nervous energy anyway. but you're going to be very soon having that kind of clarity, like finding the pieces of the puzzle and moving into this new cycle of energy. And they're saying it'll be a time to get more organized. It'll time to come up with like a strategy. It's going to be time to like work a little bit harder. Like this energy you're coming out of, it's like coming up with a strategy or plan. Next birthday year, starting the end of August, you're going to be implementing the strategy or the plan. So let's move towards empowerment next year. Let's move towards being your own authority. Let's have a focus on who am I out in the world, like my career path, life path, destiny path. What am I supposed to be doing? There might also be a focus on the material aspects of life, like money and finances as well. When we get to the month of October and going into November, there's a transition energy going on, like endings and new beginnings. October is kind of the endings, releasing, letting go part. And the November is like, okay, now I'm coming into something new. They're saying it'll still be interspersed with a little bit of completion energy. So that's going to carry over from October, but you're going to be able to move into the new energy. And then, of course, we come very soon thereafter into 2026. And on a collective level, we're all going to be moving into like this new beginning energy because of the vibration. And that's going to be really good for you. It's going to be really good according to the personal energy you're in, coupled with that collective energy of 2026. You're going to be like this powerhouse of like, here I am world. I'm ready to come out of my shell. I've gained a lot of wisdom. I've learned a lot of things, and I'm ready to move forward. They said to focus on kind of like that star scenario that I talked about earlier for the collective. So like reach for the stars. There's like, you're not limited by what you can do. There's like this limitless possibility, these infinite potentials that are out there for you to like move into. They showed me the chakra system, and I asked them, was there a particular chakra that they wanted me to focus on, to give you a message about? And they showed me the solar plexus chakra. So I'm going to say that this is about, again, your sense of personal power, which is what your next birthday year kind of focuses on, is taking your power back and owning your power. But it's also about, it kind of like it merges a little bit with the sacral chakra because it's creative self-expression put out in the world. So we're using the creative self-expression, and we're kind of, like watering the potential of our gifts, and then we're expressing it out into the world. And as it's expressed out, it's like something new that you haven't done yet, something new that you've been thinking about, that you're supposed to be putting out there in the world. Again, this next birthday year, starting the end of August for you on your birthday, they're calling it like a call to action. Like this last year has not been action oriented. It's been very internal, very quiet, very self-reflective. But you're going to be called very soon, like that trumpet of Gabriel, which is interesting because I did pull the card Gabriel for you. So he's one of the archangels guiding you right now, which is about using your throat chakra, speaking your truth, speaking, teaching, writing. So this call to action is about you sharing some sort of information. Doesn't mean you have to be like a speaker, because Virgos sometimes are a little shy, but maybe I don't know what the rest of your chart looks like. So maybe you are going to be doing some speaking, but it could definitely just be some like writing or just, sharing of your perceptions or perspectives. They said to have patience, again, it's not going to happen overnight. So have some patience. There's a lot of gifts and activations that are happening for you that are going to kind of like ping, 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 like you're going to come on, it's like all the chakras are going to be lit up, one after the other, basically. They gave me this phrase for you. They said, ask for what you want, listen to the guidance, and then receive the blessing. So ask, listen, and receive. And a lot of times Virgo, because they're so logical, and a lot of times they're in their head, they're in the realm of the mental realm. Sometimes they say that they're not psychic or intuitive. And I know by your date of birth that you are very intuitive, that you are very empathic, that you feel energy. The clairsentience is probably one of your greatest gifts, which also makes you a great healer because you're able to kind of channel that energy and give that energy to others. But know that if you kind of in meditation ask and then listen, And maybe you want to write. Maybe it's going to be through like writing, sort of like an automatic writing thing that you're going to receive the information that is needed. I agree with Kathi about the nature and the nature realm. I feel like a special connection to like plants, flowers, animals, and maybe even looking into things like crystal healing, herbalism healing, essential oil healing, things of that nature. Virgos would be very good at it's almost like the tangible aspects of healing, right? It doesn't mean you can't do like Reiki or channel just pure energy, because I know you can do that too. But using some of those tools that we use that were just mentioned also. And then you had a lot of archangels coming in. So you work a lot with the archangels. I don't know if you already know that. If you don't, I would start working with like the archangels, because you had several coming in, and who was leading the pack was Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is kind of like that warrior angel who cuts cords and who gives us courage and confidence to kind of take that next step forward on our path. And that's a good way to kind of wrap up and wind up your reading here. And they're saying one last thing, self-care. Virgos are very service oriented, and they give to other people. They help other people. They want to heal other people in some way or assist them with, words of wisdom or whatever. But remember to like do some self-care and self-healing as well. And I guess I lied because I said that was the last thing, but there was one last thing. They said, how we in the zodiac, we say Aries is the ram, Taurus is the bull, blah, blah, blah. Virgo, we say is the virgin. But they said, remember that Virgo is in ancient times considered the priestess. So be the priestess. Connect with the priestess energy within you. Okay. All right. I hope that was helpful.
Absolutely. That hit a lot of spots. Thank you guys.
You are very welcome. All right. Kathy's turn.
I was guided to Rose.
Okay, Rose, if
So
you
if
want
you
to.
have
Right.
your date of birth.
Yeah.
Sure. 4/23/77.
I'm sorry, 4/20?
23.
23, 1977. Got it.
Right. Thank you.
And do you have a specific question or just see what your angels and guides have to say?
No, I'm just curious about what they have to say.
I love how everybody's just open and surrendering to whatever comes through. All right. So, Kathi?
You can ask and it's going to come through anyway. So
Yeah.
if they want to let you know, they're going to have it tell you anyway. It's interesting because when I was focusing on your energy, because I always focus while Colleen's talking to the last person, I was getting a lot of or hearing them say a lot of like finding peace within you, like finding, because I feel like, and again, maybe it's just today, maybe it's the energy of today, but your energy feels very sad in some ways, very sort of, I don't know, almost like when we're trying to decide who we are, but we can't figure it out. So we're just like, I'm just sad. Like I'm just sad. Like that's what it felt like to me. But it's a lot of sort of pulling your thoughts, because I also feel like your thoughts are like reeling, because that's what it feels like to me, like like you're constantly thinking, if that makes sense. But I feel like they're wanting me to tell you to kind of like pull them in and sort of look at them a little bit. It's like the writing would be really great for you to do, only because and I'll be the first one to tell everybody I am not a writer. Like I do write, but it's not my favorite thing to do. Like I'm a big like, let me get a recorder and just like say everything I need to say. That's kind of how I do it for me. But it's sometimes just putting things down tends to help a lot, and that's the part that I enjoy, is like when I want to just get it out of my head so I can kind of see it. And that's almost like what I want to tell you to do, even if it's the sadness, even if it's anger, if you're angry with yourself, angry with somebody else, it's like just getting it out of there. Because I just feel like as it reels in there, it just kind of dampens your energy. Because I feel like, first of all, I love the name Rose, so I'm just going to say that. And I kept seeing Mother Mary when I was looking at scanning everybody. I kept seeing Mother Mary, and that's how I was chosen you. I said, well, if you're here, you must be wanting me to go to Rose, because that's one of her. Mother Mary comes and works with me when I'm working on people, and I can always smell roses a lot from her. just letting you know. But you're also a very spiritual being. Like peace is a really good thing for you to focus on because your spirituality is sort of like you want to create peace for people. So if you because you're a healer also, there's no doubt about it. But your healing is giving peace, kindness, calmness, clarity. You know, those are like I keep being pulled into like this Zen feeling of like where your energy would go. Like people would be very peaceful in your presence, which they probably already are. You know what I mean? So if you're, I was like, I love when they show me this because it's so true. You can be standing in a grocery store, you don't know anybody, but they're all wanting to talk to you. And you're like, I don't know you. Like, I just want to get my groceries and go home. You know? Yeah. And it's just, but you find yourself sort of like something changes in you when somebody talks to you. Like you know, somebody that you don't know. It like something shifts in you to where you're able to calm yourself down. Your energy calms down. And it's almost like I truly feel, well, they're showing me, so I know that they're obviously selling me this. They're showing me that when it calms you down, it gets you into your space that you're meant to be and what you're meant to give people and what you're meant to guide people to. Really, learning meditations would be great for you, like guided meditations, doing guided meditation for others, like allowing your channeling is going to be so I can't think of any other word. Peace just keeps coming for me. It's going to bring such peace and enlightenment to people, such calmness and love to people. And that's what I find when Mother Mary comes to work with me. She gives that energy, that beautiful energy, that mother energy, but the very nurturing, calming, peaceful energy. You're such a spiritual being. You really are. And again, whatever that means to you, that I'm not picking a denomination or religion, that has nothing to do with it. It's just the energy. It's funny because I saw this picture and it made me think it was you. This picture is you. Like, look at how beautiful and peaceful this woman is.
I actually have a picture of me with the same kind of thing on my head, exactly like that in front of me.
Like, literally, that came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so her. Like, that's just so her. That's the energy that you bring, that you're meant to bring here. You know, if I just feel like you were a nun in a past life because they keep showing me that. I don't know specifically who, so I can't like answer that in this moment, in these few moments that we have. You know, but it's like they just keep showing me that analogy of you. And that doesn't mean you have to be that religion in this lifetime. It's not even about that. It's just what you're meant to bring here, that connectedness that you're meant to bring here, and the peace and the joy and the calmness that you're meant to bring. Guided meditation is what I keep saying. I also know that writing's going to be a thing for you. And I really feel like it's going to be they keep showing me like almost like these phrases like you're almost like you're going to create a book that you could open to today's date and there'd be this phrase of the day. Makes me think of my desktop calendars that I have that I love because I have Louise Hay's desktop calendar if you've ever seen it. And every day, like the first thing I do when I come in here is like, oh, let's see what it says today. Like I get excited by them because they're just make for me, they're very connected for me, very validating for me because they know I like them, so they're going to utilize them. So I'll just say that. But that's what it makes me think of is almost like you're going to create this little book. I keep seeing this little book. It's like, you know, like this thick, and you literally could go to the day and it's going to have this beautiful phrase of the day. And then there's something about you expanding on those phrases, like telling the story of the phrase, because I feel like there's some that will have stories that come with them, you know, that you're going to want to write that eventually. Like there's just such great things coming for you. Some amazing, amazing, amazing things coming for you, really for everybody on here to be honest, because I just keep hearing it with everybody we've already read, and that usually falls in suit. If we are all here for a reason, we're all here for the same reason, is to learn that. So I'm hoping everybody else on here is taking postcards, take the messages as postcards, as opposed to the huge message. But yeah, it's just allowing yourself now to come into that more, because I also feel like a little bit like Mackenzie, is you have this energy around you, this family, friends energy around you, that it's almost like I feel like they just keep taking your energy, taking your energy, taking your energy. It is time for you to set boundaries. Trust me, I have two kids. I used to tell my kids, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And I never really knew how real that phrase is. Now they're 21, they're going to be 22 this year because I have twins. But yeah, so it's like, you know, and now that they're at the age they are, it's always like, mom, mom, mom. And I'm like, my day, my day. Like, ask me tomorrow because today's my day. So, that kind of thing. Because you need time. Like, I have clients that I help that are doing the same thing, but we understand why they're doing it, in some ways. So my energy has to sort of stay there. And again, trust me, I help my kids a lot. It's not like I have ever not. And I will always be there for them, just like my family that I love, I'll always be there for. But there is a point where you have to say, okay, that's it. I'm not a whipping boy. You can't just continue to take and take it, take it, take it, take. We have a cutoff. And that's really what I keep seeing around you is it's time to set your boundaries and hold them. When I started doing that with my family, my outside family, I felt very guilty, very, very guilty because I'm a severe empath. I'm a healer and I felt really guilty. I got over it. Like I walked through it and got over it. I'm not saying that I don't ever feel guilt, but I started to realize like, oh my gosh, I was being an enabler. And I've taught Reiki for years. And I tell my students, it's a very fine line from walking to helping or becoming an enabler. Because we have to remember that people here, they have to do their journey. We can't do it for them. We can't do it for them or else they don't learn what they're meant to learn here. And that's a lot of what really, somebody had said that to me years ago. And that's a lot of what helped me to stay in that path of like dealing with the guilt, keeping the guilt to me because it was my stuff and still keeping my boundaries strong. So hoping that helps you. I'm going to pass it on to Colleen. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on going.
Thank you so much.
As we can so easily do. All right, Rose. So the first thing they're showing me is this, talk about Kathi saying about empath and healer energy. You definitely are an empath and have a lot of healing energy. You're very in tune, especially to people within your home and family, including those that you consider family, that you have a strong emotional tie to. Very empathic with these people. I also think you have a strong connection to, I don't know whether you know it or not, but like Earth Mother Gaia, nature, what's happening to the planet, the Earth changes. In fact, you probably are very sensitive to Earth changes, whether you know that or not. Like if there's an earthquake, a volcano erupting, a hurricane or whatever, you might feel this wave of emotional something, and maybe not even be able to put two and two together. That, oh my gosh, yeah, there's an Earth event happening and it's affecting me. That's how empathic and sensitive, you are, but a great healer nonetheless. Very immersed in divine feminine energy again. And you also, very recently, April, had a birthday. And you went into this birthday cycle. It's the closing out of a cycle. We as a collective in 2025, if we add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, it's a 9. So we as a collective are in this completion phase or completion cycle. You are in now, as of your birthday in April, also a completion phase and a cycle of endings. And this is in preparation for new beginnings, which will come after your next birthday next year. And so this is just about releasing and letting go of old patterns, old subconscious belief systems, old circumstances and situations, old dynamics. And they did bring that up several times here. I'm just looking at some of the messages that I got that pertains to that because they said you're on the precipice of some sort of new path unfolding, like some sort of Dharma path, unfolding. And so this year, this birthday year for you, it's like doing a karmic cleansing. We're needing to karmically cleanse away all that we no longer need. And they said it's going to be like there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of potentials, and I don't know which way to go or what path to follow. And they said, it doesn't matter what door you go through or what path you decide to try to follow because you can always make a different choice. You can stop, make a different choice, and go through a different door, a different path. They said the only thing they want you to pay attention to is if you're going through a new door, leaving some sort of past cycle of energy or karmic pattern behind, make sure the new door is a spiritual door. Make sure it's not like moving you into disempowerment energies or, again, an old cycle that you've already been there, done that kind of thing. This is a time to really move forward into something new. They were talking about different spiritual teachers that are coming through for you that are also helping to highlight your creative self-expression. You're a Taurus, and Taurus actually is a very creative sign. It's ruled by Venus. And Venus can be a very, again, divine feminine, creative, receptive, kind of receiving abundance and prosperity or opportunities of various kinds. And so it does like to work like I want to say with different things, but I can see all of a sudden like planting seeds. I don't know if you garden or work with nature, but I feel like that's a metaphor too. It's like let's plant these new seeds and water these new seeds and nurture these new seeds because even though they might not sprout until next year, they're growing beneath the surface of the earth. There's something that's germinating here. So they want you to again plant those seeds in preparation to express this new creative, blessed sort of energy within you. Um, they almost talked about like vacillating between the past versus the future. So again, making sure that new doors that you're walking through, it's like it's not taking you backwards unless it's to like review something and complete something. If you need to take a step back to review and complete, that's fine. But we don't want to continue to immerse ourselves in an old contract or situation or whatever that has expired, reached its expiration point because you're ready to move into this new positive beginning. You got, again, creative energies all over the place. We've got one card here that says express your creativity. Another deck, you have a card here that says creation. So utilizing that, again, that creative energy when it's time. And when might that be? I feel like, let me think for a minute. I feel like, you can utilize it anytime, but I feel like there can be some nice flowing, receptive, creative energies that come in September of this year, December of this year, and March of next year. So this is where creative expansion can occur. They also kept bringing up this, well, it kind of goes along with releasing the past, but they kept on saying choose freedom. So they use that phrase specifically, choose freedom, free yourself from whatever is binding you, holding you back, and it might be just your own belief systems. It might not be a situation or a person, but it could be just your own belief systems or emotional way of kind of being entrenched in things because Taurus is a sign that can be very entrenched in things. It's fixed, it's stubborn, it's that earth is kind of a heavier dynamic. So it's more difficult sometimes for Tauruses to make a change because they get used to like the status quo energy and being rooted in something, even if what they're rooted in is no longer feeding them or empowering them or beneficial to them. So let's again move out of that energy and move into that idea of freedom. Love the self. Taurus is also about self-love, self-worth, and self-value. So make sure that's a part of your energy as you're going through this healing process and this kind of healing birthday year right now. Again, a lot of divine feminine energies coming in. They also mentioned forgiveness. So whether that's forgiving another person, forgiving an organization, forgiving yourself. Again, this divine feminine energy of unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, peace, healing, is something that really strongly emanates from you. I don't know if you pay attention to animal totems, but they definitely kept showing me like cats from the cat family, not house cats, but they were showing me like a leopard and they were showing me a tiger. So I would look up the leopard and the tiger animal totems and see what further information they have to share with you. Because there's something there, and it's tied to something about being open to the opportunities and the blessings that are flowing to you. And again, releasing what is no longer beneficial for you. And also, like with that planet Venus being your ruling planet, they were showing about activating the sacral chakra. I call it the goddess chakra. So let's activate the goddess chakra and immerse yourself in that emotional, creative, goddess, divine wisdom sort of energy of that sacral chakra. Okay, I think that's mostly everything that I got here. I hope that was helpful for you.
It was very helpful. Both of you made a lot of sense with like what, I was going through a very tough period of my life, and now I'm on the upward, like going and coming into all these things that you both are talking about. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'm glad you said that, because there was one last thing that I jotted down when I jotted your birthday down. Because you're very into the early degrees of Taurus, I don't know if you know what degree your sun is, but based on being born on April 23rd, your sun is probably somewhere between 1 and 3 degrees of Taurus in the beginning of the sign. Right now, where Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth, transformation and regeneration. Pluto is at 3 degrees of Aquarius, going back to 2 and then 1. And so it's making like a square aspect to your sun in Taurus. So there's a big, huge, long-term transformation that you're going through. It's already begun, and you're kind of in the middle of it. It usually takes a couple of years to go through it. So know that you're going through like a big metaphoric death and rebirth and transformation, and that's quite exciting, actually. It's about empowerment too, and
Does
owning
that
your
tie into,
power.
like, health and stuff like that? Like I've been dealing with a health issue, trying to come out of it, dealing with like some trauma and stuff that I went through like for the past year and a half, and now I'm in a different place and I'm working on myself and like healing myself. But it's been about like 6 months and seeing improvements, but it's like it's slower than everyone says that it's always slower than you want it to be, but it's matter that you're dealing with, right? Like your body. So
Work on connecting with that goddess chakra, the sacral chakra. And that's where we house, like, that's the emotional chakra. So there's something emotionally like crystallized within your energy field that needs to kind of be brought up and out to bring healing to be transmuted. Know that Pluto, although again, it's about transformation, right? But Pluto also rules transmutation. So find the old sadness, the old fears, the old depression, the old whatever it is that might be crystallized somewhere in the body, affecting a certain area of the body. But, that's the sacral chakra anyway. That's where the emotions are. And visualize amethyst colored purple light
okay.
surrounding your whole entire body, and especially the areas of where the health concerns are, so that that violet flame, that violet light, can transmute any lower vibrational energies, emotions, belief systems, etc., from your body, mind, and energy field. And who uses the violet flame of transmutation is Archangel Zadkiel and Saint Germain. So you can call upon them specifically as well to assist with that. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. For those of you, again, that didn't get, chosen for a reading, Kathi, do you remember when our next Cards and Coffee is?
I can tell you if you give me a second. So keep talking.
Okay. So again, there's nuggets of wisdom in everything that we were speaking on a collective level. And even for those of you that did get chosen for a personal reading, all of the rest of you, just, I'm sure that something kind of resonated with you and touched your soul. And so, listen to that. Kathi, did you look it up?
August 10th is when our next one is. I hope you will join us
Yeah.
and tell your friends
Yeah.
to come along. Thank you so much for sharing space with us. We truly appreciate you being here. It was a blessing and an honor to connect with all of you.
Kathi, were you
And
able to
yeah,
put
hopefully
your
those that
contact?
didn't get a message,
Did you put your contact
what?
did you put your contact information in the chat,
I
Kathi?
did not.
Do you have
I
it?
did not. It's intuitivecat.com is my website. You certainly can connect with me through Meetup and also Facebook. I have 3 personas on Facebook, so you can connect with me by Kathi Munson on Facebook or Voices of Enlightenment on Facebook are probably the 2 most profound ones. So yeah, hopefully we will connect in some way. Intuitive Cat spelled with a K, just so you remember, because a lot of people try to put C and say, I can't find you.
Yeah, and
So,
Mercury retrograde is getting me, because it's like I thought I had, there we go. There we go. There's some information for you. So you can find me at ColleenLemma.com, my website, or Colleen Lemma YouTube channel, also on Instagram and Facebook. And again, thank you so much for those of you that came and attended. We appreciate your love and support. And we send you lots of love and light. The next new moon guided meditation is going to be on the new moon. So that's going to be just less than 2 weeks away. I don't remember the date and time even, but it's a new moon in Leo. So if you're interested in that, it is posted on my meetup page, along with a lot of other things that will be upcoming. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. And we will hopefully see you at another event. Bye.
Yes, absolutely.
Love
If
and
you want
light.
readings, Colleen and I also do tag team readings too, if you'd want one by, with the two of us. So
Absolutely.
as also we do them separately.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.